Hello everybody, I'm the Dupster, and today we will discuss the mobile game Suicide Squad Special Ops. This game was created in 2016 and it served one purpose, promoting the movie Suicide Squad. In fact, the trailer for said movie is still on the home screen. But before we get into all that jazz, I want to go over the game itself. The plot behind the game is that your squad gets dropped off in a location and you have to survive wave after wave. There really isn't any storyline, and the very few dialogue suggest that this was a suicide mission designed to get rid of our protagonists without their knowledge. Protagonists? Antagonists? I guess these guys are anti-heroes in this scenario. The gameplay is pretty straightforward. Fight off waves of enemies and get the highest score possible. There are a couple different types of enemies like sledgehammer guys that charge you, snipers, minigunners, and suicide bombers. Three playable characters are Deadshot, who has two weapons, his wrist gun which has infinite ammo and his rifle which does not. Don't worry though, there are ammo boxes everywhere. The second character is your wet dream, Harley Quinn, who has her classic baseball bat and Joker's pistol. I don't know if it's Joker's pistol, but come on, it looks just like it. Last but not least, we have El Diablo, who only has one weapon, his flame palms, which are AoE and have infinite ammo, so that makes up for it. Along with this, each character has a special ability. Deadshot becomes Soldier 77 and goes into slow motion. Harley adds Sharpness 5 to her bat and lunges / insta-kills anyone you look at. And El Diablo lets out a fiery shockwave, which is extremely powerful. Now you may be wondering, if the game has infinite waves, then there must be a leveling system for your characters, right? Yes and no. As you progress through the waves, you get supply drops which can upgrade your base stats to a certain degree, but there is no way to upgrade your character outside of the actual wave mode. Also, if you die while playing as a character, you can choose to be one of the remaining ones, but the character that dies will not come back. In my opinion, the best character is Deadshot, simply because of how useful his long range is versus the suicide bombers and chargers. Harley Quinn and El Diablo are both good, but lack of range in a game like this is suicide. See what I did there? Now looking at what I just said, this game doesn't seem too bad, but it has a couple of flaws. The first being it's very hard to see far. It would help if your FOV was a bit wider or your gun took less space up, but that's a menial issue. The main issue I have with it is that there is no tangible progression. Let's take a look at a similar game, Gun Bros. Gun Bros follows the same formula, but after you die you can upgrade your weapons, get cosmetics that boost you, and play on different worlds versus different enemies. Suicide Squad does not have this, and the reason why this is such a big issue is because when it comes to games that are basically you fighting waves upon waves of enemies, if there isn't a way to upgrade your character after you die or to progress to different worlds and stages, it feels very bland and very demotivating because, as mentioned, there is no tangible progression in front of you. Suicide Squad Special Operations was pretty popular on release, so why didn't they add stuff to it? Well, because it's marketing. The game's sole purpose is to market the movie, and it did its job. In fact, it's not even on the App Store anymore and hasn't been for a long time. The only reason I could even play was because I had it downloaded in my library from 2016. If you're confused about why a company would spend the resources on a game then abandon it even if it's popular, well, don't be, because it's been done hundreds of times. Every time a big movie comes out, a game comes out with it, whether it be before or after the movie. The game is usually a lazy rip-off of a similar title, but the thing that kind of bugs me is that Suicide Squad was relatively original in its actual in-game content, since it was first-person and you could switch characters while playing, which is very new in its genre, and it was also pretty fun. If the developers had decided to add more weapons, a leveling / upgrading system, and more characters to the game, which all the Suicide Squad members weren't even in the game, I wouldn't be surprised if the community was still strong and alive to this day, similar to Injustice Mobile. Anyways, this has been the Dupster. Leave a like, comment, and maybe subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you didn't, then don't tell me because I'm sensitive. Peace.